And I'm thrilled to invite to the stage Lior Bonfils, the esteemed president of Philips Israel, for a captivating discussion on health tech innovation and AI. And joining him is the dynamic Hila Goldman Aslan, CEO and co-founder of DIA, which has recently joined the Philips family. And I just wanted to tell you that Lior is not only a visionary leader in the health tech industry, but also an enthusiastic mountain biker. And Hila, on the other hand, is not just at the forefront of startup leadership, she's also a skilled basketball player. So together they will share with us how these qualities translate into action. Please.
Philips is an icon. I'm confident that all of you are familiar with the name of Philips and the symbol of Philips. I'm so proud to be part of 132 years of legacy of innovation, a company that day after day, year after year, deliver innovation in every part of our life. And lately, in the last decade, Philips placed our innovation mainly in the health tech industry. And that's in order to support and to ensure that our vision of saving life and improve people's health worldwide being exist. 23 years ago, Philips landed here in Israel. And since then, we have been expanded internally, but as well as by mergers and acquisitions. I don't know if you know, but more than 30 companies, different startup companies from their local ecosystem, has been invested or acquired by Philips since then. And lately, proudly, I'm so happy to welcome DIA as our new partner in the company. Good morning, Hila.
Good morning, great to be here.
Great standing nearby you in this stage. And in the next coming minutes, we'll try to take you through the journey that Hila, as the founder of the company, did from the moment that she had a dream till the moment that this dream became a solution for so many people around the world to improve their life.
Thanks. So, yeah, it's all started about 10 years ago. A young woman called Michal Yacobi, my partner, had an idea for her thesis as part of her master's degree in Ben-Gurion University of creating a prototype that helped physicians analyze ultrasound images in an automated way. She reached out to her professor, Dr. Liel, that back then was the head of the Ecolab in Soroka Medical Center. And she accepted immediately the idea. I met Michal when she already had the prototype, and we decided to establish DIA. Now, from the first day we established the company, our vision was to leverage technology, leverage AI, to make the use and analysis of ultrasound images smarter and more accessible to more people that wants to use ultrasound. We identified two main challenges that we saw within the ultrasound space and focused on cardiac ultrasound. The first challenge was that once you acquire the image, how you analyze it. Mainly, until then, it was eye vision, eye visual estimation, just looking at those images and estimating what is there. And it's very subjective and it highly depends on the user experience and the years of practice. And again, very subjective. The second thing that we saw within a big challenge in ultrasound was the way the images are being acquired. So versus MRI and CT, when you are coming and laying down and the MRI or CT taking your picture, with ultrasound you mainly take the transducer, put it on the body of the patient and trying to get to the right image, maneuvering the transducer. That is also subjective, also depending on the user experience. So we wanted to take the subjectivity out of those two processes and make these processes more objective, more faster, and more accurate.
Yeah, Ila, I think that I'm pretty sure actually that it wasn't easy. Can you share with us, through the challenges that you just mentioned, what was the real challenges as a startup running through this journey?
So yeah, you all know startups and the stories around startups, and it's very challenging, and we have ups and downs. I think the main two challenges that we saw when we started this journey was, first of all, how do you apply AI and train AI networks to work on these 50 shades of gray of ultrasound images? Very noisy. Also, when we focus on cardiac ultrasound, the heart is a moving organ. So you have to deal also with a noisy image as well as a moving organ. Second big challenge was that once we were able to provide those solutions, those AI-based solutions to the market, is how you convince physicians that they can trust it. Until then, it was all about eyeballing, just looking at the pictures. Some were saying, like, I'm good at what I'm doing, I don't need any help. We engaged the young generation of physicians, I call it the new generation of physicians that grew up with technology, grew up with the smartphone, that mainly came and said, just give us anything you can automatically with AI. And this audience were the first adopters that brought that into the market. And then we started to see and get the first yes, the first FDA, the first big investment, the first publication, the first award, the first user, and of course, the first commercial agreement with big companies like Philips.
Yeah, indeed. I remember the time. It was 4 years ago when we signed the first commercial agreement, and we did it in order to ensure that this great idea, solution, can be translated later on and scale up in a company like Philips to become a solution worldwide by our product. And to know Ilar, to know the people, to ensure and to understand the competencies, the capabilities of this startup to be able to later on merge with Philips. Surprisingly or not, less than a year after, we already signed the initial gave the initial investment into DiA and started our main journey together with this amazing team. Ila, the moment that your dreams become a true, and the moment that people really follow your dreams is a great moment and always exciting. Can you share with us the fact or the moment that you did understand that you have a dream, people are following that, but it's not good enough to be scale up? And what did you know and what did you do in order to scale it up through the journey of DiA?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we started to get the first yes, and we realized we have something that the market needs. We made sure that all of our AI-based solutions were vendor neutral, which means we trained the system, the AI network, to work on various images coming from various devices, various brands, so it can work on any image coming from any device. We made sure it's cross-platform, which means it can work and integrate it inside the ultrasound device itself, but also on the desktop of the physician, on the cloud, on Windows environment, iOS, Android. And once we were able to create that kind of access to any platform and any user, that's where we scale. So by the time Philips decided and offered to buy the company, we had 9 FDA-approved solutions, more than 4,000 users in 20 countries. We had access to hundreds of thousands of images and already generating revenues. Yeah. So let's, I talked about AI and ultrasound and what does it mean, but let's see some examples of what actually does it mean. So I'm holding an ultrasound device by Philips that actually can connect to your phone, any smartphone, and suddenly your phone become an ultrasound device. Amazing, right? You can go with it like a stethoscope to patients all over, near bedside, on the field, and scan people and see what's going on inside, not just outside. But yeah, then you have to understand what you're seeing, especially if you are not an expert in ultrasound and you want to get the indication of the performance of the heart. And what you're just seeing here on the screen is one of our AI-based solutions that already got FDA-approved solution and embedded within the ultrasound platform. that give you what we call the ejection fraction of the left ventricle. What does it mean? Big words. It means the percentage of blood coming out of the left ventricle, which is the pump of the heart, in each beat. If it's above 55%, it's normal. Below that, 3 different levels, different treatments. So it's important to know in every scan that you scan the heart with ultrasound, what is your ejection fraction? Athletics has around 65%. So what we developed and embedded is an automated solution, AI-based, that with one click, once you get the image, you get the ejection fraction immediately, versus the way it's being done until then is just looking at the image and just saying, looking at that noisy image and saying, I think it's 60 or 30. So that's what we did with the AI solution. Another example, if you remember, I talked about not only be able to analyze the image, but also help the user get to the right place with the transducer. So here you can see a user using our AI solution trying to get to the right place with the ultrasound device to see a good image and good quality of the left ventricle, and getting indication in numbers and in color of how good is the scan that he's taking. So once it's hitting green and with high numbers, he knows he's in the right place. So that is a good example to show how our AI-based solutions are really helping on the field to patients as well as to physicians to analyze the heart.
Yeah, thank you, Eli. This is actually a great example and powerful example of why Philips actually acquired DIA. Because today, it's not enough to have an idea. As big as it is, as good as it is, it's not good enough if it cannot be scaled up in the market. And that's the reason that Philips recognized the potential of this solution and decided to both and acquire DIA in order to scale up this kind of solution through our product worldwide and enable solution everywhere in any corner in the world just by this simple machine, our smartphone. You can gain and have ultrasound images.
Yeah, and eventually it's all about the why. Why we're doing what we're doing. Startup environment is very challenging. You have ups and downs, roller coaster, you name it. We've been through everything. But like in life, you're not happy all the time. You have happy moments. The same thing with a startup. You have happy moments that keep you going. And one of these moments were 3 months into COVID, June 2020, when suddenly we saw on Twitter a tweet by a physician that we didn't know that indicate that our AI-based solution at the ICU with COVID patient helped them monitor the patient when they were isolated. You can take the patient out to do a full scan using the ultrasound, using the AI, understanding what is the ejection fraction, and if it's going up or down according to the treatment. You can imagine that no eye in the company that day was dry, and that reminded us why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and indeed, as I mentioned before, 4 years ago, we made the first commercial agreement with DIA. Year after, we placed our first investment, and actually a few months ago, last year, we made the acquisition. Eli is a startup founder. How does it feel that company, biggest as Philips, call you and say, hey, we like to buy?
So, of course, it's a very exciting moment to get this phone call and getting the offer. But the main feeling is proud. Proud that a big company like Philips, with more than 70,000 employees, more than 50,000 patents, recognize, appreciate, and value our work through the years. Working with Philips before the acquisition as a commercial partner helped us understand that we share the same values. And once we were part of Philips now, merging our strength, moving ahead and investing in AI, and in AI in ultrasound and eventually in other modalities, we are now the AI arm of Philips Ultrasound here in Israel. And yeah, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, so you can understand it's not only about the solution that Eli and the team brought into AI for ultrasound, but to develop it more and scale it into our other businesses of Philips Healthcare. Eli, thank you. It was outstanding session in my view. And maybe for all of us, 2 days before International Women's Day, it's a great to mention an example. DIA is a great example of inspiring female leadership, which is so resonate with Philips, and that's what we believe so. I don't know if you know or familiar with Philips, but currently in Philips Israel, 60% of the country leadership team are females. More than 53% of our employees are females as well, and I'm so proud of that. Yeah, we deserve that. I guess that we deserve that. And this is an outstanding, amazing of what I just described. And maybe last comment from my side before we closing the session. The President spoke about that a bit. Despite the challenging days here in Israel, I think that Israel tech delivers no matter what. And my only request, let's keep on imagining. Thank you so much.